Hi, and welcome to Hacktoberfest 2024 with the Jenkins project. My name is Darin Pope. I'm a developer advocate with CloudBees, and along with me, I have Mark Waite. Mark, how are you doing?
Great, Darin. Hi.
Good to see you again today. So when we left our heroes last, which was 2 days ago in real time, today is actually October the 9th, 2024. I believe that's correct. On Monday, we did a couple of changes. We added a Jenkins baseline, and we also added find sec bugs to a plugin. Today, we are going to be changing from JUnit 3 to JUnit 4.
Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, I have to disclose something that I did.
Okay.
This particular plugin, I started looking at the code in advance, and the formatting was awful enough that I stepped in, automated the formatting, and that way the formatting is consistent. So you'd see
I noticed that.
I did a spotless apply because I just could not stand the thought of us having to work with this thing with its existing formatting. It was a terrible experience for me as I was doing exploration. I couldn't imagine what would happen while we were doing this together.
Good. So thank you for doing that. So where do we start? Why are we trying to go from 3 to 4, other than the obvious 3 is old and 4 is almost as old?
Well, okay, so the crucial thing for me is that JUnit 3 had a very different programming model. With JUnit 3, every test class must extend a base test case. And that programming model limited certain forms of tests. There were some kinds of tests that just couldn't be done really well with JUnit 3. JUnit 4 avoids that. Instead of extending, every test must extend a base test case, we can create the class and then we, inside of it, declare what form of test it takes. So JUnit 4 is better for test developers than JUnit 3. Now, in addition to JUnit 3 or 4 being better for JUnit 3 developers, JUnit 4 base tests have an awful lot of helper things in Jenkins that will make it easier for plugin maintainers. So not just that JUnit 4 is better than 3, but the Jenkins world of developing tests is much better with JUnit 4.
Okay, so what does that mean to me?
Well, what it means for us is we got to find the JUnit 3 things first, right?
Okay.
First we need to find them. And so finding them, we could look for anything that extends test case. And test case is the first check. And now, are you allowed to do a regex here?
I can.
Oh, no, that's okay. If you can't,
No, I can.
Okay. So
Now, how to do it, I don't remember, but yes.
Actually, this is already good. So let's take a look at these.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a JUnit 3 test. Now, the ones that I did, this one, we will do it, and this is the first time I've seen it.
Okay.
We can do this one. If you look for others, there's HudsonTestCase,
Okay.
which is an additional one we need to do.
Hudson. Thank you. Okay.
Right. So, and now a test case is provided by JUnit, and therefore it's pretty simple. A Hudson test case says, in addition to giving me the things that JUnit gives me, I want you also to provide me a running copy of Jenkins that I can use and work inside of its context to do my tests. So we can do, I'd say let's do one that extends test case first, because they should be easier.
Should be. Famous last words. Okay.
Right. Well.
Good. All right. So what do we want to do here?
Okay. So the way JUnit 4 things are done is, instead of extending test case, we need to just annotate each test method with @test. So if you delete the extends test case,
right, which should mean also I can get rid of this.
Yeah, and the automated formatting will do that for you, but you can certainly get rid of it. Then @test.
Okay.
And you'll need the import for that. And if I remember right, your IDE will probably help you with that. If not, I can tell you what it is.
It's supposed to help me, but it's not.
Yeah, so the import is import org.junit.test.
Is that a static?
No, it shouldn't be a static.
Okay. All right.
And so the next one we also want to annotate with that test.
Okay.
Wait a sec, Darin. You just showed me something that surprises me. There was no blank line between those two.
Right.
You're sure that you're up to date with what's on the master branch?
I can triple check.
Okay.
I did do the poll
If you
about
did,
a half
then-
hour
then-
ago. Yeah.
If you did, then you're up to date. So that won't. Then the poll should be silent. I'm just surprised that it didn't put a blank line between the two test methods.
Oh, when you did spotless. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Exactly. But let's put at test there,
okay.
and now let's try compiling and testing it. Let's see what it does.
Do I care about this fail build?
I don't know what that would mean. Let's see. So it's
The field
saying that
wrapper dot
field
field
is deprecated. No, because we still want to test deprecated things.
okay.
I mean, you could, I guess, if you'd like to silence that warning, what you could do is on the at test annotation right below it, put at deprecated, because that's a way of declaring that the test is testing deprecated functionality.
So you're saying do this?
Yeah, at deprecated, right.
Okay.
And now you've silenced the warning there. And what that declares is, hey, we know these tests are testing deprecated functionality.
Okay. But it also makes it easier for me if I wanted to grunt for something, if I looked for that.
Right,
Exactly. I mean, it's a eyeball there. Okay, so if I want to go ahead and do this,
Yeah, so now the fun part here is Maven minus Maven space spotless colon apply.
Maven. Okay, do that first.
Space.
Oh wait, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll just check it real
It doesn't do any harm to have done that all by itself.
Well, I probably should have done this earlier, knowing that it's all. Okay, anyway, so we'll do that again.
Yeah, space minus capital D test equals,
Oops. Test equals.
and then the name of the test class, which is build timeout slicer test. Space test. And let's see how it goes.
Okay.
So we're expecting, since all we did is change from JUnit 3 to JUnit 4, this should just pass.
Right. And it appears
It did.
it did.
A little further up, it should tell us, go far enough up to see the test report. We're now seeing the spot bugs reports.
Oh, okay. Well,
Keep going. Huh?
I'm to the top. Okay, well,
wait
so
a
what did I
sec.
do
So,
wrong?
I don't know. Let's see. So we've got,
spotless validate enforce.
so it
Run.
looks like it didn't do any tests. Did we miss something in our change?
Build timeouts. I don't know.
Oh, so show me the command line you used again.
Okay. That's the command line at the bottom there. Maven spotless apply -d test equals build
Yeah,
timeout
certainly.
slicer test.
And the class name is build timeout slicer test. Huh.
We don't need to
Okay,
put
so
a
try
package or
verify.
anything.
Let's try verify
Okay.
instead of test.
All right. So Maven. So keep the spotless
Yeah, the spotless is harmless.
and just do a verify instead of test.
Uh-huh,
Okay.
Right. Because I was expecting it to tell us that it had run one or more of the tests. Okay, so it's running spot bugs and kept. Interesting.
So the tests aren't firing.
I don't know. That's very well. So let's check that. Put into the test itself. Let's do a fail.
Okay. So I can do.
Fail.
So here. Okay. So hang on a second.
Uh-huh.
Is assert equals still legit
It is. Yeah. Although it
from 3 to
needs-
4,
Yes. Yeah. It is. But it should need an import.
which it doesn't have.
Right. And so why didn't we get a compilation failure? Huh. Well, let's import the. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm also not working on a branch. So let me go ahead and
Yeah,
Good.
you can check out. You could certainly check out on the branch right away. That's good.
Okay. I'm curious. Let's look at the problems. Because there's plenty of problems, but... Okay. That's not going to be useful. That is interesting. So...
Well, let's take off the -d test thing, and let's
Okay.
see if we get tests to run.
Just
Yeah, and
as.
you
Yeah.
can even take off the spotless apply. Spotless has now done its job.
Do you want me to do a
Just say
clean?
verify.
Or just-
Clean. Yeah, clean verify should be fine.
Okay.
Test
There's
compile.
tests.
Good. Test run. Good. Cron splitting test.
See, I'm
Test was
questioning.
running some tests.
Yeah, I mean, I was questioning whether we should have also included the package on there instead of just the name, but
Usually I don't, and it finds it, but we certainly could try a leading asterisk or the package name. Sure.
okay.
So we're
Is it
still
test
looking
singular
for
or is it test plural?
singular?
Singular.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking for in this output. We're still looking for build timeout slicer test.
Correct.
Okay. Log file size checker slicer test. But usually it reports things in.
I mean, I would have figured if there's a compilation error, we would have already seen it.
Right. That's what I was assuming.
Is it not picking it up? Did I not save it? Could it be as simple as that? Here, let's do
Well, that's
this.
an interesting idea. Yeah, try it. Try it with the -big D.
All right.
Yep.
Do that one.
Failed to build project. Is that what I saw? No. Let's see. Oh, no, that was failed to build parent project. Nothing.
No. But I still don't see tests. So let's try.
Interesting.
All right, here. Let's see what Java I've got. I mean, according to, I'm using 21.
Good.
Should be
What
fine.
Maven version? We should be a nice modern version of Maven.
Should be 399.
Yes. Okay. Those are both fine.
Everything's fine there.
Well, so do a git status. Are we in the right directory? Okay, it's been changed. Git diff.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that a legitimate test?
Source, test, IT. Oh, that's an interesting directory.
So let's look. Let's go back to the tree here.
yeah,
So there's this build timeout thing that's.
right.
I don't buy that because that's not source test Java. I don't know what the heck this is.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, good.
Okay, so wave it off.
Right. So in this case, we just found a test that has probably not been executed for a very long time.
And we're not going to try to even run it today.
Well, it's certainly more valuable to run the tests that we know are already working.
Right. So let's go back into. Here, let's go back to our search and extends test case.
That's funny that it would be called source/IT because usually that would mean integration tests, and
Right.
integration tests are commonly not. Okay, that one cron splitting test.
This one's okay.
Yeah.
So it's just this one that's questionable.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Good.
Okay. Well, that's fine. So now let's do this. That might be also why my editor.
Right.
Couldn't figure
I
out
hadn't
what
thought
was
of
going
that,
on.
Why it was not giving you hints.
Yeah. Because now we can see it's.
And
No
notice
bueno.
it shows now. Hey, assert equals is missing.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let's
if
just do
you
this.
hover over assert equals, does it offer an import?
And it will. But this is the other reason why Spotless didn't work.
Ah, okay.
I would have to guess. So, or JUnit. Yep.
Okay, good.
No. Now, just in my time dealing with JUnit 4, I remember test used to be a magic phrase.
Right. It's
For the
no
methods.
longer so JUnit 3 would only run test methods that started with the name test.
Test.
Right. Now
What do
I
we do
don't-
now? Do we care?
Anything is fine, and
Okay.
starting with the word test is harmless.
Okay. Then add a static import for
Yep, for assert.equals.
assert or assertions?
Assert.
Assert.
And let's see what it did. So scroll up to the imports. Yes, good choice. org.junit.assert equals good. Good
Yep.
import.
Why is this complaining? Configure static import. Believe it. I'm going to assume that that's bogus for the moment. Oh, there's a couple more here. Oh, no, this is the last one. Okay. Okay. So now that feels better.
Uh-huh.
So now let's go back and try to do this the right way.
Right, and-
Actually, we'll just do the test here.
Right, and in test, minus D test, just do minus D test cron asterisk.
Okay.
CHRON asterisk, because we don't have to name the whole thing.
Okay. No matches found.
What? Who's doing a, who's?
Well, it's Z shell maybe.
Okay, so you may have to type the whole thing. I don't
That's
know how to
fine.
satisfy Z shell.
There's tests, and they all
Okay.
ran.
All right, so now, and did you include the spotless supply in that one?
Did not. Oh, I did. I did.
Good. Okay, good. So we can commit this one.
Okay.
It's a good one to commit while we got it.
So, all right, that's interesting. So we're going to commit this one. Here, let me get rid of my
so
terminal here.
Let's see the diffs just to be sure we believe it.
So test case goes away. JUnit test comes
Yeah,
in.
notice that it moved the static import up above.
Above,
So it
up here,
puts
yep.
static imports first.
Import. We get rid of the extend.
Right.
We have our ats,
Annotate
and that's pretty much
test.
it.
Yep.
Okay. So what do we want to say about this?
So for me, it's convert cron splitting test from JUnit 3 to JUnit 4. Or it'd be use JUnit 4 for cron splitting test. Either is fine.
I'm going to. Okay.
Yep.
Is that it for now?
That's good enough for me.
Okay. And we commit it. I'm going to go ahead and push it up to my branch. I'll go and get all that squared away. Don't want to do a pull request yet because we're going to go ahead and just stack these, I guess.
Well, but
Or do
why
we care?
not? Why not? Let's start it.
Okay.
We could even make the pull request a draft while we're working on it. But
let's do that.
ci.jenkins.io do some work for us.
Okay,
in
so
the
I'll create pull
background.
request. Oh, I've got to fill out all this stuff here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's change the title from
Right. So
the
this
specific to
is
something.
convert JUnit 3 to JUnit 4.
I know I'm not doing this capitalization right, so forgive me.
That's fine. And as a plugin maintainer, I can correct capitalization and spelling if I need to.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm not doing
Oh,
it. I'm
you're
just making sure I'm
draft.
changing.
It just submitted on you, Darin.
Rats.
That's okay. That's great. So
We'll catch it in the next.
Yeah, we remember that looks like a button press to Visual Studio Code,
Yep.
VS Code.
Okay. Well. All right, we got that one. So that's fine for now. Okay, let's go back to search. So I guess we'll do.
Oh, so it refreshed the search.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yep. So let's just let's hack our way through this a little quicker than what we did before.
Right.
Okay, just quick visualizations here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got a public and a private. So I only need to do the public,
Correct. That's right.
except I have to do it correctly.
Now it should have offered to import. It did. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did.
And then we need to satisfy the imports for that.
Okay, search. Whoops. A little too much there. There we go. Okay. All that looks fine. I can get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so let's go back into here. Let's go ahead and run that again. I mean, does this feel right? We'll just go through it one by one and just
at least
take our time.
This is how I like to do it, because I'd like to get a test all the way passing, commit it, and then go to the next. If then I discover, oh, there are way too many little tiny commits, I can always smash them together.
Yeah,
I can always squash them.
Like I'm looking at this, and I appreciate it, but there's only one test, but there's really 7 tests.
Correct. And that's,
how do you feel about that?
I am, after long periods of wrestling with myself about it, I'm not at all worried about it. Yes.
Okay. I'm not worried, but it's like, it's sort of, I'm doing 7 really different things here. If I take a look at it.
And thinking about, in the case, if the test fails, one failure will hide every other test after it.
Right.
And so there's a compelling reason why one assertion per test is a good motto for simple things like this.
Yeah.
Now there are plenty of cases where that absolutely is the wrong approach. I use many assertions because I'm using the test to help me learn something.
Right. Like in this case, seeing these assert, this makes sense, but I'm testing just a thing.
Right.
Whereas
right.
here, it's basically a 7 wrapper around, this is really what I'm testing.
It is. Well, and that one is, there are some elegant ways to do that kind of permutation that we could consider. For now, we leave it as it
Just
is
leave it. Yeah.
and go with it.
I saw it here and I was like, that just feels wrong.
Right. It's, okay, why do that? Yeah.
Right. Okay, so do we go ahead and commit this one?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll commit that. And message here is same thing for now.
Yeah.
We'll clean up the PR later.
Uh-huh.
Convert JUnit 3 to JUnit 4. Okay. And close these up.
Mm-hmm.
Back here, go to the last one, Python test.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Import that. Import that one. Get rid of this. And we'll do this test one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Python test. Python. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I'll come back over here. And that. All right. So we're going to ignore the other one, the IT one.
Right. Actually, we should probably, as a matter of kindness to others, delete the thing. But that's a separate pull request.
That's a bigger, yeah.
Right. That's doing unrelated cleanup is oftentimes a distraction to the maintainer. So let's not do that.
Okay. So we did all the standalones. Now we're into HudsonTestCase.
Right.
So this one to me is a little more like the other one we just did makes sense. Those were straightforward. There was no Jenkins magic there.
Correct.
But now we've got Jenkins magic.
We do, and this is where the most valuable testing actually happens.
Okay.
It's JUnit based tests that were previously extends test case and now have nothing are useful tests. But they tend to assert very simple things. This test is going to assert things that are actually quite complex, and it's going to have nice checks of a bunch of things to get there.
Okay. Ahmed, you are quite welcome. Thanks. And stake 0, yeah, probably integration test. Good.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, although why you would use an integration test that extends a test case, that's not integrating anything. So that's an oddity. Yeah.
Okay.
But we accept the oddity. So
So
this
do I follow the same pattern?
we do. So we get
Okay.
rid of Hudson test case, but there's a bigger thing that we have to do here. And maybe,
Okay.
Darin, the best thing we can do is let's go look at the Java doc for Hudson test case, because that will give us a hint of the kinds of things it's going at. So just search for Jenkins Java doc Hudson test case, right? Or Java doc Hudson test case. Perfect. All right, so notice first it says, this is deprecated. New code should use Jenkins rule, right? Okay, good. So we're getting off a deprecated testing technique. That's good.
Okay.
But if you look what Hudson test case provides, scroll down just to get an indication of the kinds of capabilities this thing provides. Keep going, and it just keeps going. So there's an awful lot of capability in Hudson test case. And so there are many different ways that we could be surprised. But ultimately, where we're going with this is, let's go back to VS Code. We're going to replace this with Jenkins rule.
Okay. So what does that mean?
So what that means is JUnit 3, you extended a class in order to get your environment, you get the things you wanted. JUnit 4, you do a thing called a rule. So we're going to say in the body under public class email slicer test, at rule, and now we need to import it, right? Public Jenkins rule Yep, and it's traditional to call it R. So R equals new. I think it's new Jenkins rule. I think so. Let me double check just to be sure that, because inevitably I go to somebody that's, yes, that's it. I go to somebody that's done it and I read their code and use it. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got this thing R that has inside of a Jenkins installation. And that now lets many of these tests run without needing anything extra. Every test sets up a Jenkins, and the test now runs in the context of a Jenkins. So let's look at this one and see if we can resolve the other complaints. So let's start resolving.
Before we go there, I have a question. Why public?
Oh, because, okay, good question. That's a JUnit 4 sort of flaw. JUnit 4 won't find it unless it's public. If we made it private, JUnit 4
with the annotation.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So it has to be public in order for JUnit 4 to find it.
Okay. We will do that. Oh, that's interesting. Did it not take? It did.
Okay, that certainly should have satisfied.
Oh, it did. It did. Okay, it just took a minute.
Oh, okay. It just took a little while. The file's
Yeah, because there appears to be quite a few.
Right. Well, and I guess while we're traveling through this, let's do this at test annotations as well, because we know we need to do that.
Oh, right. We have to do that as well. Okay, that
right.
doesn't
So
change.
we're gonna walk through this whole file.
Okay. Whoops. Since this is the first one, we need to import it. Okay, there we go. All right, so okay, test normalize. This is another one of those that I would probably refactor because it's wrapping. Just because, right? We're doing we're doing all the tests.
It's doing a bunch of variations on tests here, but for me the question then becomes, where do I get the value when I'm doing this exercise? And most of the value for me in creating the test was originally when I wrote it, not so much repeated execution. Those are just safeguards.
Right. So we have some weird things here. Create unique project name. Create freestyle project. This feels very Jenkins-ish.
Well, and notice if you
actually
hover over.
Let's finish up with the test annotations
good.
first.
Let's do it. That's great.
Because I'll get ahead of myself and
we'll be back to this, right? The code doesn't compile yet, so we need to get the annotations in place. We need to get assert true imported. Yep.
Private. Okay, now we're done. Okay, now let's go back up to here. So create unique project name.
Right. So if you looked at, you don't have to go there, but if you looked at the Hudson test case Java doc, this is a method of Hudson test case.
Okay.
So we got it for free previously because
Right.
we extended. We don't anymore. In this case, what I do is just create a new private method that creates a unique project name. Right.
It's the only
inside
time
this
we're
thing.
using. Right, but are we? Oh, it's being
We'll
used
use
twice.
it a few more times, but it's
Okay.
small enough that.
Well, if it was only being used once, would I really need to do that?
You could, right. If it were only used once, you could inline it.
Yeah.
Correct. No,
But this one we got multiple.
it will be used multiple times.
Okay.
Right.
So private,
Returns a string.
it's a string. Okay. And then get.
Create,
Oh no, just to create. No,
create unique project name, and it takes no arguments.
Any throws?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't
Okay,
think.
we'll-
I just
we'll
say
see.
return and some string. Exactly. Now, because it says unique, my trick would be declare a private counter and include the counter in the name. So Darin, above private string, do a private private static int.
In this one?
Just right above that method.
Oh, okay.
No, I think you want it outside the method.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I was fixing to say that's. I'm going.
How-
Well,
that
if,
will-
if I'm doing that, I have to do that up here. I'm sorry.
Okay, your choice. That's fine. Private is we need a private static int project name counter.
Oh, this is static, not a.
Yeah, it's not a constant.
It's not
so-
a. It's not a final.
Right.
So project name counter.
Right, and assign it to 0. It'll get that value anyway, but make it clear. Okay, so now down at in that method that's using that,
Yeah.
we'll just say some string plus project name counter plus plus.
I have to do that. I can't.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Okay.
Yeah, so every time we use it, increment it.
Yep. Okay, good. So that takes care of that one. Then we have create freestyle project.
And create freestyle project, Jenkins rule gives us that already. So instead of create
okay.
freestyle project, we just do r dot create freestyle project.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
That easy.
Good.
Now, and I didn't check, maybe there is a get unique project name in Jenkins rule. Just a minute, let me look.
Okay. While you're looking, I'm going to finish up the freestyle projects
Good.
because there's a few. There's a lot of deprecated things here. But that's not what we're chasing right now. We're chasing other things.
Oh, cool. There is a create unique project name.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, so we could just do an r dot
Okay, well,
instead
here.
of that.
Then let me get rid of that.
Yeah.
And get rid of my thing up top. And then look for...
Yeah, just do
Ouch.
r dot.
I should have just done that to begin with.
Right,
Okay, now wait a
exactly.
minute. Wait a minute.
Should say r dot create unique project name, right?
Getting there. Nope,
Nope. Huh.
not
Interest-
there.
Protected. Oh.
The protected.
It's, yeah, although I don't know what that means. It's a protected string.
Okay. Then undo.
Yeah, okay. We can do it ourselves.
Undo,
It doesn't
undo.
do any harm to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, so we've added the rule.
I actually, and I think I know why it's done that way.
Okay.
Let me hang
We don't
on.
have to explain it right now. That's-
Okay, well,
If you know,
doc,
then-
the Java doc for Jenkins rule explains why, and we'll fix it later.
Okay.
Right, off camera, etc. It's for the purposes we have. This is fine. Let's
fine.
be sure we run the test now.
Right. So doing that, but then I'm looking at this. I was just whining about all the deprecations, like new mailer, new Maven mailer. Don't touch those. Right. I'm just
For
trying
now?
to
No.
flip. I'm just trying to flip from 3 to 4 at this point, and that's it.
Exactly. The
Okay.
goal here is particularly because to the maintainer, as soon as you start mingling multiple things, there's a risk that that maintainer may object to one or more of the things you commingled. And now they're saying, hey, you need to take this out and this out. Whereas if you do one thing, it's they either reject that one thing or don't.
Mm-hmm. Now here we can see Jenkins starting up.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
shutting down and starting up and shutting down.
Exactly. Yep.
All right,
Okay,
so
now
it blew up.
we got a test failure. Oh,
What?
right. It's got a compilation failure.
Right, so what did I do wrong?
Maybe there's an r.create unique project name that we didn't revert back.
Don't think so, and I don't see any. Here, let's look at that error again. So 48.106. So what's 48 complaining about? Unresolved compilation. Create unique project is undefined for the type email slicer. Well, that's odd because did I mistype it? There's always a possibility. But no, it resolved. Come on. Where are you? Right here. Right? If I click on that, it's not tracking to it. Okay, no. Not right now. So did I just mistype it? Please, okay, I would just overwrite it. Okay. Weird. All right, let's try that again.
Did the spotless, because spotless apply changes the file on disk, do we need to somehow revert to read it from disk again? I assume VS Code does that for you automatically.
It should. Yeah, that worked.
Good.
I evidently didn't save it or something after I did the undos.
Right.
That's
Okay.
probably what it was. Autosave's a wonderful thing, except when it's not. But I want it right now, so.
Yeah,
All right.
so now it's time to save it.
Okay. I'll go over here. I have a feeling that this is just going to be rote work over and over.
There
and
are
over
several
again.
things like that, and then again, there are a few hiding ahead of us that are not quite as rote as that.
Now, can you think of which ones those may be?
Hang on, let me look. That's a good
Because
thing.
if you know, we can go ahead and at least get to one of
Yeah, we
those,
could
because
talk
this is
to
taking a little bit
those.
longer than I thought, and we're already at 40 minutes in.
Yeah, so let's take a look. Just a minute. So,
And in case you're watching this and figuring out Darin doesn't know what he's doing, you're absolutely correct. Mark went ahead and checked things behind. I'm trying to stay like any new committer coming to a project.
right, Darin's being authentic, and Mark's cheating is really
Yeah.
what Darin's saying, and that's
Okay,
okay,
well, that's
because
fine.
we're playing the game here, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so the one that had an interesting thing for me was log rotation slicer test.
Okay.
And
That's this
it
one.
may just be that I don't understand Java real well. So we shouldn't be shocked if we discover that, hey, didn't get it. But log rotation slicer test. So do the usual things, remove Hudson test case, do the @test annotations, and add the assert imports.
That's fine. Okay. Oh, I've got to do before I do that, I should go back over to which one did we just do?
Job slicer, wasn't it?
Email slicer? Yeah, email slicer.
Okay.
I'm going to go grab my Jenkins rule.
Oh, yeah, right. There you go.
I'm
Good
fine
thing.
copying and pasting this. That's
Absolutely. That's a good thing to put in there.
right, because that way I can just have that done. Right. And it took care of auto importing that for me. And then, because I'm just going to do these as I go through.
Super.
Ignore, private.
Okay. Now you're
wait.
hitting what surprised me. All right. So notice that it says add arguments to match assert equals. So what's happened is this file
They are
has
overloading.
exactly. So I think you want to change it to assert equals.
Yeah.
Either that, or you need to rename that method.
I I would rather rename the method because
That's fine with me too.
All right,
Actually, VS Code probably has a rename
yeah, but
refactoring, right?
maybe. But let's just say I question. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's see
Okay.
what public, because I want to see if we see that call anywhere else. Because if we don't, then I'll just
Okay.
make stuff up.
All right.
I don't think we are, but okay. What is that one from? Log rotator. Okay, good. Because that one. And it's because of the okay. Hang on a second.
Right.
Yeah, because
Until-
okay, good. All right, then yeah, I'm going to rewrite this because that's just. So we're going to call this. I'm not going to use assert. I'm hesitant with equals. I'm going to call it test equals. Nope, don't like that either. What do I want to call it?
How about assert log rotator?
That's better. I just don't like using assert.
Oh, well, so how about compare, or how about equals log rotator, or
Let's do that. Hang on a second. We'll do that. We'll do that.
okay?
And now we can do this. Hello. No, I gotta do this one too. And this one. I apologize to whoever wrote this initially. That doesn't make any sense to me. Equals log rotator. Okay. What's interesting here is it's not liking that. Why is it not liking that? The method is undefined for the type log rotator.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I assume it's still trying to catch up by compiling behind your back.
Yeah, it's doing things underneath. So if you look at the bottom center, you can see things are spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for that to finish spinning, I guess.
Well, and while we're waiting, you could jump up to the top and do the static imports of. We could copy the static. Oh, there it is. We've got that static import for assert true, assert false. We just need to copy that and declare assert equals.
It's just odd that. Okay, now it's done. Okay. Yeah. Oh, out of memory. That's good. I'll increase memory later. Okay, maybe I'll increase memory now. No, there it goes. Okay.
Perfect.
That's second part. Come on. Okay, so there's our equals. Those imports are okay. So that looks green to me.
Yeah, so now if we save that and let's try it, compile it.
Okay, let's do this again because I'm not trusting my saves right now for whatever reason.
Oh,
especially
and
if memory's
was
going
there
weird.
a Hudson test case? Oh, no, don't worry about it. Spotless apply will remove any unused imports.
Right.
And it's log rotator. What is it?
Rotation
got it.
slicer. Yeah.
Great.
It's an interesting pattern by putting spotless before.
Yeah, there are times when it gets in the way. I have colleagues who absolutely won't do that because they don't want the distraction of Spotless isn't nearly as good at parsing bad Java code as the Java compiler is.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that worked. So we'll do this
Good.
one more time.
Let's commit it.
Okay. And then here, I'm going to close this too. And then we had these other four. Okay, so and you think the rest of these are probably
They're relatively rote.
normal. Okay.
Yep.
So
Paste in your JUnit, your
Go
Jenkins
get it.
rule.
So it's interesting that here, and I am going to, while I have that in my buffer, get rid of that, go back to here. I'm going to go to this one and this one. I'm going to assume that all these are
Right.
okay.
If it extends Hudson test case, you need Jenkins rule in order to get equivalent functionality.
Right. So now I need to do this.
And now it gets better. Or you need real Jenkins rule, and real Jenkins rule is an even more recent addition. Jenkins rule is good for Hudson test case.
Okay. You understand I'm just ignoring that you're talking right now, right?
I am fine with that. That's
Okay.
great.
Making sure. Okay, so we had 3 left. Those 3 are gone, so now we can get rid of that. Okay, so I need to fix these 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go this way. So put my
Test
at test
annotation.
in.
Right.
Arg. Okay. Assert true. Yep. Assert false. Whoops, not that. That. Okay. Annotation. You too can be a Jenkins plugin maintainer.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
there's that. Let's go ahead and run this one. This one's long. Okay. This is where AI would be really useful.
Well, actually, there are things that will do the simple JUnit 3 to 4 conversion semi-automatically, right? The open rewrite can do that. The problem is I don't think it knows how to do Hudson test case.
Open rewrite can do 4 to 5. It can't do 3 to 4.
Oh, it can't do 3 to 4 even. Okay.
No, not that I found.
Okay, well,
If somebody watching this knows how open rewrite can do 3 to 4,
we're interested.
please let us know.
Right.
Yes. Okay, that's Maven. That's the one I just did. Yep. Okay, so convert JUnit 3 to JUnit 4. This PR is going to be ugly. Okay, claim. Let's get rid of the terminal. Okay, so all that looks good. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, this one's a strange one. It was halfway to JUnit 4,
Huh.
but not all the way to JUnit 4. So it used the @test annotation, but was extending Hudson test case.
Okay.
Yeah, which means the test annotation was ignored. Right? It had
Exactly.
no
Yeah,
effect.
because 3 didn't know what to do with that, right?
Right. It's not harmful. Annotate all you'd like.
Okay. So this is claim slicer test. And yes, there's probably much easier ways to do this, but I'm working in large screens and it's hard to see everything. Slicer test. Looks okay. Why do we need to spin up Jenkins every time? Why can't I just have Jenkins spin up once, run all my tests, and then have it shut down?
Oh, very good. In fact, you can. There's a
Okay.
thing called a class rule that will do exactly that, but I did that with this particular set of tests, and it made almost no difference in terms of performance.
Oh, okay. So Jenkins rule is not visible at 33.
Yeah, so a create unique project name is being used again.
Oh, rats, because
Right. So same technique as we used before works here.
what class was that? Anybody remember? Was that cron? No, not cron.
Just search for create.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I just did my R, not thinking, just
Well, and I'm sure that there's a better way than what this is doing. So that technique is harmless, but create freestyle
It could be better.
project, the thing that's being used, actually will create a unique name anyway for us.
right.
So I think there's a better way to do it, and that's why it's protected.
Okay, I put that. Create freestyle project is right, but I did an or. Oh, there it is. Create unique project name. Right, I pulled it out already. Okay, so let's try that again. I had already forgotten that. I'm going to leave that open just in case. I mean, to me, I prefer having Jenkins start and stop, but I don't want that to happen either, if that makes any kind of sense. But Jenkins here is starting up fast enough to where it's
Well,
not
and
like a
that's-
normal controller.
Right. This is clearly the test environment is not actually a full, absolutely perfect Jenkins. For that you need this thing called real Jenkins rule, but it starts even slower. So
Right.
what we're seeing with Jenkins rule is a compromise.
Right. And then timer. Oh, I still have two left? Oh, that's weird. I thought I only had one left. Okay. That looks fine. JUnit. This is what you do sitting around on a Saturday evening. Just all the football's off. There's nothing else to do. You just go through and fix all the tests. If I watch football.
Hey, this is a good thing, at least education-wise. This kind of exercise for me has been very helpful to remind me, this is how tests evolve. This is how tests work.
Right.
So I don't feel any shame at doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it all day, every day, but it's nice to get it done and remove that little bit of overhead.
Good grief. C and V right next to each other. Then we have one more, and then that will be it. And actually, we'll be coming up right on time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's oh, two of them. Oh, did I forget to?
No, this is a different form of create freestyle project. So again, the technique is RDOT.
Right, but it didn't yell at me to begin with.
Right.
Trusting my IDE too much. Okay, there were two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's one of them. Oh, it's a private. This is why I don't like having... That's me personally. Sorry. I appreciate abstractions, but sometimes copy-paste is the best.
Right, and in tests, right? In tests, readability is the thing that matters intensely, and it's usually readability of a single thing.
Yeah.
So we need to go to
So
line,
I probably
what
just
is
didn't
it,
save
line
it.
24 and line 31?
It probably didn't save. Let me
Okay.
go back here and just... All right. Let's try it one more time. That's just silly. Do you hear that banging around?
I don't. Is there banging?
Okay, good. There's banging outside my window. Yes. Okay,
Oh, wow.
stop.
Okay.
All right, that's that one. Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and push that one up, and then we have one more.
Mm-hmm.
Shell test. Do that. What do you think about putting the where should test go here? Should test always just stick up against?
I don't have an opinion one way or the other. For me, I tend to put suppressions higher and tests lower, but I think that's just because I have a tendency to alphabetize. I'm not sure that's any good reason. So that one is not a test. At least it wasn't in JUnit 3, right? Look at the name of it.
Do test?
Yeah, it has to start with the word test.
Oh,
So
right.
what you look up above, three or four lines above, is the caller to it.
Oh, right.
It's one of those things.
So it should be private, not public.
Yeah, there's a good point. There's no value in making it public. Absolutely, you're right. That doesn't help anybody.
Okay, here's a freestyle. So that's an R dot.
Mm-hmm.
That is a public test. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it that. Well, I would have eventually, but...
Right.
Okay. And these are R dots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, and just so we don't chase me saving problems here.
Mm.
Okay, we'll do that. And this one is, and this is the last one.
Okay.
I hope. Should be. Now, we've done all these things one by one by one by one.
Mm-hmm.
They all, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm waiting for it to finish, have passed successfully.
Right.
Should I just go ahead and run a spotless supply test?
I would run spotless
verify.
apply and verify.
Okay.
Because we've been skipping spot bugs, for instance. We've been skipping other steps. So clean
Right.
verify is, we want to be sure that all the tests pass. Now, if you want to get
I'll
really
commit
serious,
this.
you could do, actually, let's see. This one probably won't matter. Let's just go ahead with it. There's a way to say, and I want to run tests in parallel.
Oh, yeah, this one's probably fast enough. Now, do we want to leave the spotless supply there or no? Since
I like to have the spotless
that's
apply
fine.
there just because for the final run, spotless should make no change.
Right.
And if it does make a change, I very much want that.
Okay. We're about 4 minutes from stopping here, so let's see how it
Yeah,
runs.
so this, and while we're waiting for this to run, why don't you open up ci.jenkins.io and
Okay.
let's look to see what's happening there.
And I want to go to plugins.
If you just in the search box up at the top,
Oh, right. Look for
configuration slice. Yeah, there we go. Second one down. Okay, hit enter. I think that one will find it for
There
you
we
as
go.
well. Good.
Okay.
All right, so in the pull request, we should see it. Now look at the history and we'll see, scroll down. So what happens is when a new change arrives, it stops the old build. But
Right.
if you look at number 4, let's open up number 4 because it will give us a hint of, are we keeping proper coverage, for instance? So one of the things I like to check is look at the coverage report and let's see that we didn't regress coverage. Okay, so overview says, and if you look at, let's see, which one is it? Is it line coverage? Tab through each of the coverage items. Okay, that didn't tell me delta. Okay, and then files. Okay, and it's showing no changes. Good, no loss of coverage.
Right. Well,
Okay, it's showing relatively low coverage, but no loss of coverage.
right.
Good. Okay.
And what am I looking at here again? Am I looking at the line?
Yeah, I think this is
Or line delta?
Yeah, it's reporting percentage of lines covered by tests,
Right.
and what we don't want is a negative going there because that would hint we missed doing a test annotation, or
okay.
we lost a test in this process.
All right. So from a previous run to now, there were no changes in this line delta. We don't care about the branch
Exactly.
delta. Okay.
Well,
We do,
there
but-
should be no change in either of those. Certainly not a decrease.
Okay.
If we lose coverage by this transformation, we did the transformation incorrectly.
Okay. So here, we're all
Oh,
finished.
and are we done? Oh,
We're
good.
done.
You got a nice fast computer, Darin. I like that.
I do. Okay. So what do we do now? I guess I go to, am I logged in?
Yeah.
I
Well,
am.
if you're ready, we can now convert it from a draft pull request to a regular pull request.
Yeah. Let's see how bad this is. Okay. I've got to do my edits here. So, oh no. I can't edit?
Are you not logged in?
I'm not logged in. Okay.
So do you want me to do these edits? No.
No, I need to do it. I broke it. I need to fix it.
Okay.
So do that. I have to go find my password because I don't remember what it is. All my vaults are locked, so I have to unlock all my vaults,
Mm-hmm.
which is, if you're not using a password vault, use a password vault.
Yeah.
And notice I don't actually have the password vault in Firefox. That's on
you.
purpose.
Okay.
That's on purpose.
Great. And now you do your two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I
Darin.
have to find my phone.
Right. Thank you for always having two-factor enabled. That's good.
I'm not there yet. Give me a second. Almost there. Okay, there we go. 255. And this is fine because you will never use this again. No, I don't want that. Okay, now I can edit the PR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I can edit. Okay, so describe it.
Yeah, so convert Hudson test cases.
Hudson, good grief. Test case and test case.
To matching JUnit 4.
What is it? JUnit. What is it? JUnit. That's it. For
Yeah, capital J,
coverage.
capital U usually. Uh-huh.
coverage, right?
Or JUnit 4 tests. Yeah.
Tests. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And under testing done, I'd say Maven tests or automated tests pass.
Pass. I'm also going to throw in here. I'll throw this here. And ran. Whatever I did last. There we go.
Right. Good.
Because I can.
Yeah.
That. And now make sure you're opening from I did that.
All right. We're on a branch, right? Title is good. Could you when we're done, could you capitalize the word convert?
I will fix that.
Okay.
I described what I did. Link to that.
We're satisfied. Link to yes, satisfied, and yep.
Okay, update comment. Edit this to convert, and I'll go ahead and fix this too.
Yeah, and let's see, while you save it, and do you have permission to label it? Probably not, right?
I
bet that's me.
Doubt it.
Yeah, so let me do
Let's
that.
see. Yeah.
It helps me if in the review process we get labels. So this one is test. Okay.
Cool. All right. So convert, did all that. You gave me a test label. Why a test label?
Because that way in the change log, under a test heading, it will say that we converted JUnit 3 to JUnit 4.
Okay.
So the labeling helps the changelog drafter give us good changelog.
Okay. Now I can go ahead and click it over ready for review.
Right.
And then you can review it and do with it whatever you want.
Right. Thanks, Darin.
Okay, so this is where we're at today. So we spent the whole hour talking about JUnit 3 to JUnit 4. Now we'll be back next week, Monday and Wednesday. Grab my handy dandy notes here. Monday is Internationalization Day.
All right.
Parlez-vous français? No.
Ma parlo italiano.
Oui. And then Wednesday. We better stop. Wednesday is going to be interesting. We're going to be doing Java 11 to Java 17 using Open Rewrite.
Mm-hmm.
Will we be using the same plugin? That's a question.
Yes,
We are.
absolutely.
Okay.
Why not?
Because are there problems there? I haven't looked.
Because we can.
Because
I
we
think
can. Okay.
If there's a surprise, there are several plugins where we could highlight this, but let's do this one. And then if we need additional plugins to tell the story, there are additional ways to tell the story.
We'll find them. Okay, good.
I have several that I could tell stories about.
Good. So again, Monday, internationalization. Wednesday will be 11 to 17 using Open Rewrite. And at some point in the future, it'll be Open Rewrite. We're going to try to get this one from 4 to 5 on JUnit.
Right.
We'll see how that plays out. So thanks everybody for watching. If you know anybody that's trying to do some Jenkins maintenance during Hacktoberfest, send them over here. We'll be glad to, as we can, we'll try to write it in about an hour. So if we can answer questions, we'll answer questions. If not, we'll do what we can. So anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you again next Monday. That will be Monday, whatever it is. Thanks,
Right.
Mark. Talk to you
Thanks,
later.
Darin.